All right, Jared, I heard you went to the movies.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. No need to argument. I'm not trying to poke the bear with Ted. I do it, every pod. I will say, I know you didn't go to the movies this weekend. I mean, dude, at some point, this Tedertainment segment, it's losing its mojo. It's losing its gas. I mean, this was a must-see theater event with Barbie and Oppenheimer. The marketing, the campaign, everything around it. You had to have been there in a seat, in a theater, seeing one of those movies, preferably both, for the sake of this podcast, for the sake of this segment. I love this segment. The name's great. The chime is great. The music's great. We love it that you lead it. We needed you there, boots on the ground. Second time I said that, covering this event, because I tell you what, I went to go see Oppenheimer this weekend. You walk in, people are taking pictures in front of the Barbie sign. You walk the theater on the right, the theater on the left. Theater on the left is all Barbie pink, pictures everywhere all over it. The theater on the right has like fallout shelter, like caution tape over it with like a nuke sign on it. I was loving it. I still love going to theaters, especially when it's something like this, Top Gun Maverick, Oppenheimer, Barbie. It was awesome to go to the theater. So just real quick, I'll give you the platform to rebut that. Why did you not make it to the theater this weekend?
Well, number one, I don't go to see every premiere. I mean, it was just recently, like within the last 2 weeks, didn't I say I saw Indiana Jones? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, doesn't that count?
No. Nobody, yes. No culture. The Indiana Jones was a little drop in the
yeah, pot. But I don't succumb to this pop culture. I have to be at the theater. Oh, did you wear your pink outfit? Did you watch both at the same time? Man. Did you Barbieheimer? Did you do it, Jared? Did you do that?
There's a little bit of attitude coming with
the
that
attitude,
right there.
He gave me the attitude first.
I mean, but I mean, come on, man. Theaters are dying. They're trying everything. The marketing was top notch for these two things. It was something that you don't see every day. Two, blockbuster movies getting dropped same night. I mean, it was cool, man.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying you having your pleasure. That's fine. No dog on me. It's going to be there for another couple weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to have the crowd, the energy, the souvenir cups, the people taking photos. I don't thrive on the crowd.
Believe me, I like it when it's more empty.
That's why he goes to the matinees.
Exactly.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm just saying maybe next week we can get a review of both films if that's not too much in your busy schedule.
We got On Away coming up, so that's maybe a week after that.
Yeah, so a couple weeks. Stay tuned, 3PV listeners. We will have Ted's review of Barbie and Oppenheimer.
So what's your review? Give your
Oppenheimer.
review.
So first off, I'll just give you my rating right off the top. 2.7 on the 3-point pod scale. Okay. Just a really interesting movie, man. I mean, it took about 30 minutes for me to fully kind of understand what they were doing. I mean, there's a few different timelines they follow. So one is basically, them building this nuke at, Project Manhattan at Los Alamos, which I had no idea what Los Alamos was. It's basically what it was for people. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, so don't worry. Basically what Los Alamos was is it's this basically this town that they had to make to try and recruit these, all the top physicists in the world to come to New Mexico to test this nuke. Basically, they had to build a barbershop. They built, a bunch of houses. They built, a market. Like this is like basically a little town they built from nothing just so that they could recruit all these people to the middle of nowhere. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that. But this movie, stars galore. Every time a new character is introduced, it's an A-list star, even for like the most minute, 30-second role. I mean, it's Cillian Murphy, Florence Pugh, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but people love her. Matt Damon, I mean, he kind of won the movie, in my opinion. I thought he was great. Robert Downey Jr., Rami Malek, Casey Affleck, Emily Blunt, Jason Clarke, just to name a few. And then there's a ton of other guys like Josh Peck, who you're just like, I know that guy. So I was blown away by the amount of guys that Christopher Nolan got to commute to this movie. I mean, Cillian Murphy, outside of Matt Damon, I thought he was great. He nailed it. He is Oppenheimer. When you think of it, when you see pictures of this guy, just totally embodied it. It was a little bit slow out the gates, but once you get to the point where they're starting to recruit this kind of super dream team of physicists to come build this nuke, it really takes off from there. So I'd say like the first hour, it's a little bit slow. Be patient. It gets going, and it ends up being great. There's a few really, really, really good scenes. No spoilers. I mean, obviously, when they finally get to test the nuke at Los Alamos, you would think because we know what happens, like, oh, this is just whatever. I mean, obviously it's going to work. It just was really interesting how they built up the whole hype to that. I mean, it's crazy when you look back in those shoes. They had no idea what the hell this thing was going to do. They're like, this could end the entire world. Right. This could like break gravity. This could break everything we know. They had no idea. I mean, it's funny. The guys are putting on sunscreen to watch this nuke test. They have welding glass that they're looking through. Some of the soldiers that were there are like laying on the ground, looking at the hill off in the distance so that when the light hits the hill, they spin around and turn and look. It just was really cool. The one part I didn't think Christopher Nolan totally nailed was the kind of relationship between Florence Pugh and Cillian Murphy. I didn't totally understand why they had that in the film. I thought it was, a little bit like kind of forced. Christopher Nolan actually said in an interview, like, this is the best he's ever nailed, like, the love in movie. So I was going into this like, wow, this could be like a Romeo and Juliet story. Her role really wasn't as big as I thought it would be. And I didn't think that it was totally nailed. Again, I just didn't think that was not necessary to the film, but whatever, to each his own. Some people probably loved that part of the film, but I just didn't think it was necessary. Didn't really get much out of it. I mean, Florence Pugh, every time she's on screen, she's like basically naked. So it's like, I don't know what this character is, really. But again, that's Christopher Nolan. He's a movie legend. I mean, the Batman trilogy, my all-time favorite movie. So I'll never complain about something he does. But I didn't think this movie was for everyone. But for people like us, who love our history, love World War II. I mean, nukes, what an interesting kind of topic, really. I thought it nailed that. And just Robert Downey Jr. is great. Matt Damon, obviously, he's great. Cillian Murphy's great. It just, the fact that the star power that was behind this film, it was just another interesting layer that kind of kept you loving it. So I love the movie. I could see why people maybe would think it was boring, but for me, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen the last 2 hours of it.
No, I'll be excited to see it for sure, because I've read a few reviews trying to stay away from spoilers. I mean, yeah, most of us know the gist of the story or whatever, but trying to stay away from the big spoilers. But when you put every name that you just listed and then directed by Christopher Nolan, I mean, with a story or a topic as cool and interesting as that, I mean, it's going to be good. So and it does seem like one that would be better to see in the theater. I don't know about better, but it seems like one that'd be cool to see in the theater.
Yeah.
The sound is incredible. The soundtrack, I mean, it's awesome. And I'll be like, I didn't even know Matt Damon was in this movie. It's like I didn't see him in any of the lead up to it. You saw a lot about Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Cillian Murphy. You saw them all over the place at red carpets. I didn't even know he was in it, and he had a great part. It was really, really good movie. Really cool history piece. I mean, you learn a lot. It's kind of hard to follow. I think it's worth a rewatch. Now that you kind of know where it's going, what these three different kind of time frames are. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan, he kind of always kind of makes things a little bit more difficult or harder to follow than maybe they need to be, but I just loved it.
Plus he filmed it on a special kind of film, from what I understand. It's like not IMAX film, but it's a real
like
wide
70 millimeter film or something. From what I understand, it's basically you can only watch that type of film at like only 19 theaters in the country. So,
and one of them's in Grand Rapids, actually.
Yep.
So that sounds like how Ted can maybe make it up for not catching either the Barbie or Oppenheimer. If you guys had to pick, what movie would you guys have been? Because I'll be honest, leading up to it, I was like, we were going to go see Barbie. And then kind of I had like a last second change of heart where like, I got to go see Oppenheimer. So I ended up being an Oppenheimer guy, but that's kind of the big debate. Which one would you guys have been?
Well, my wife actually mentioned about Barbie, and we almost went to Barbie yesterday, to tell you the truth. But I would rather see Oppenheimer. And my question to you is, since you gave me all that grief, which was fine, we have fun with it.
It wasn't a fair.
Why didn't you see both of them? Why? Like that's the big thing.
That's a good point. Because I'm too obsessed with golf. And then I worked on Saturday. So it's like I could have, done the whole double feature thing. I mean, I love going to the theaters, but I tell you what, man, 6 hours in a movie, that's I don't know if I could do it.
That's tough.
It would be awesome if you did it. I don't know. I feel like I put a lot of dreams and aspirations on like what you should do with your life.
You do.
There's something funny about you buckling up for a two feature day in Barbie and Oppenheimer that I would love. What would you go see?
It's a long that I've done it a few times. It's a long day. It sounds like a great idea, but when you get into that second movie, you're definitely a little tired. Luckily, these two movies are almost like polar opposites, so that might keep you awake a little bit. To be honest, I definitely want to see Oppenheimer. I really want to go see Barbie. I mean, I really do. I've
a lot of good reviews.
See, I was going to say the complete opposite. A bunch of people that I work with said it was a fantastic movie. It's a shame that the people, at least what I've seen, the people that I've seen who are taking shots at it are doing it because of their political views, and they're trying to turn it into right versus left, like people do with everything. They're saying that this movie is like a feminist type of movie, and it's a left-wing propaganda type of movie and stuff like that. And I just think people are stupid, to be honest with you. It's just a movie. But, like I again, kind of like everything you listed, all the actors, the talent and everything like that with Oppenheimer, I think it's very similar with Barbie. There's some very A-list actors and actresses in that movie. And the people that I've talked to that have seen it have said, like, the script is great. There's comedy. There's some serious stuff. There are some messages, some like life lesson type messages in it. It's funny. Like, I don't know if I said that, but like Ryan Gosling is apparently fantastic. Margot Robbie. I mean, how can you go wrong? So, no, I really want to see Barbie. I really do want to go see it.
Well, I might see both. It won't be for the next podcast, but give me a couple weeks before football.
Yeah.
They'll be out there. I'll be curious when they'll pop on, whatever streaming service.
What do you guys make of the theaters? Like, Matt, did either of these movies get you out of your chair to go see it? Maybe, obviously, maybe not this weekend, but is it something that you have to go see in theaters? What do you guys make of the movie watching experience?
I'm still 100% all in on the movie going experience. The biggest thing for us is finding sitters for the kids and getting our work schedules, to align or whatever. So honestly, if we were close to family or something and had grandparents that we could just be like, hey, we want to go to a movie or something like that, we'd probably go to the movies fairly often. But honestly, that's the biggest thing. I love going to the movies. Yeah, it's a little more pricey and stuff. You end up spending a little bit of money. But I appreciate everything you said about going and you got everything that's pink over here, and then you got everything like war movie over here. Right. And then, you're buying the popcorn and you're buying a drink and stuff like that. I think that's all very cool.
Yeah, I do love going to the movies still. I was a little surprised. This is an old man thing. Even in Owasso now, they have reserved seating and they have structured seating. So you can pay extra money to get, a seat that reclines and has a little table next to it where you can put your food on. And I was surprised to see that's already gotten into Owasso. It's been out in the bigger cities for quite a long time, but it surprised me.
I don't have a problem with it. It's not like it's like a $30 ticket for one of those chairs. I mean, a lot of times these theaters, it's almost depressing you, and even like, I'll be honest, like the one thing that detracted from it is I went to this movie and they put you in the side theater. I love being in the, like, it sounds like that's perfect for you, Ted. You love like just being the only guy in the theater almost. I love the experience. I love sitting with a bunch of people. People get annoyed with talking or whatever. It just kind of comes with the territory when you're with that many people. I love that experience. Comedy, Oppenheimer, anything. I would love to have seen it. Barbie kind of seemed to be the one to go see in a big crowd this weekend. I mean, people were like making a day out of it, going to get mimosas or whatever, brunch, going out to eat afterward, wearing pink with all their best friends. So I loved it. But
that is kind of a generational thing right there. Because I used to go to the big event. I remember when The Exorcist came out, we waited in a 2-block line in Flint to get to the movie theater. It was such a demand to go see it.
There is I can't believe I forgot about this, man. It almost stole the show out of the movie trailer for a new Exorcist. I want to say it's Exorcist Believers. Yeah. This trailer, man. First off, The Exorcist has always been something that scared the absolute out of me more than anything else. I can't watch those. Even to this day, I can't really watch them. They had the Exorcist theme on this trailer. 2 girls that are possessed. It looks incredible. I'm telling you, this is a movie that get ready for. October 13th, it comes out. I didn't know about it. I didn't even know it was a thing until I saw this trailer. It looks great.
Wow.
See, there's something like that too, going to the movies where you get to see the trailers. I know it's like kind of, it's different now. You can see everything on YouTube. You can see everything on Twitter, whatever. But there's something cool about going to a movie and you get to see a new trailer. Now everyone's going to know about it because it's been out for a week or whatever. But that makes the movie going experience cool too.
That definitely does. Well, I've got one thing. I stayed home, just watched my television, and I watched on Max. You guys know I like my murder mysteries. We just finished a 4-parter, and it's called, and speaking of Barbie, it's called Ken and Barbie Killers. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The Lost Murder Tapes. I don't know if you've seen that flash up there and had any interest in clicking on it. But
my daughter actually tonight, it's on Hulu also. And I turned on Hulu and she's like, oh, Daddy, look, a Barbie show. And I was like, I don't think this is the Barbie show you want to watch.
Oh, let me tell you, it's probably not even something you want to watch. This is going to haunt me. I mean, I was dreaming about it last night. This is one of the most horrendous things. This Ken and Barbie in Canada. And what they came up with, they killed 3 different young girls, teenage girls, the way it ended up. But it was so brutally done, and they actually videotaped these things. And think about this. I don't want to give away too much if you watch it, but I will say this. The jurors actually watched the tapes. They kept it away from the public. And the jurors watched the tapes of these killings and torturing. They had PTSD. They had real issues after that. Thank God they didn't show any of the videotapes or anything in this documentary, but the 4-parter, it was just mind-boggling how evil these two individuals were. And they had everything in front of them. It's called Ken and Barbie. I mean, they were good-looking young people in Toronto, Canada, and the husband guy, he started out as a rapist up in Toronto. He was called the Scarborough rapist. He raped 9 different women, but he ended up hooking up with this Barbie chick. They ended up getting married, and then they did some of their shenanigans together. So if you want to watch a murder mystery, I know that's probably not laying that out like, man, I gotta watch this. But I will tell you, of all these murder mysteries that I've seen, this one was very disturbing, but it was really interesting and well done.
Yeah, I wonder if you watched this one on Max, you said?
Yeah, yep.
I wonder if the one that I've seen on Hulu is the same, or maybe it's a different.
Probably same case, maybe a different.
Yeah, same case,
possibly.
But maybe just done differently.
Yeah.
I would definitely be curious to watch it.
Yeah, I feel bad for the jurors, man. I mean, I think we've all been summoned to jury duty a time or two.
Right.
Just imagine showing up and by the way, we're going to show you these 3 tapes of these girls just getting mauled.
Yes.
Like, good Lord.
Can you imagine? Yeah. I made a mistake once of watching, and this was back in the Saudi Arabia stuff, the Middle East war and stuff. And I saw something on the internet of a guy getting beheaded. And I actually I saw it. And it scarred me I don't know why I clicked on it. And I after I clicked on it and watched it, I go, oh my God, what did I just watch? And I mean, it was horrifying.
That was your introduction into the internet.
No, yes.
Not everything on the internet is good.
God almighty. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm gonna watch this.
But this is pretty good.
Title of video: Guy gets beheaded. Oh, let's see what it is.
It was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Matt, didn't you have something, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, well, I just mentioned. So I gave my review on The Idol. We haven't said that we're gonna stop it, but we've moved on. So True Detective. I know you guys have both talked about that. And I've always wanted to get to it, especially the first season with McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. We finally we're 2 episodes in. We just started it, and we're both like we're itching to get through this first season, because I don't know if we'll get to the other ones, because I know you guys have even said it started to fall off a little bit. But this season with McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, we were like, all right, we got to get to this at some point. But these first 2 episodes been fantastic. I mean, It's one of those you just want to watch it all. You don't want to stop. You just want to keep going. So we're excited to finish it.
It is a good watch. So I guess you kind of buried the lead with the mention of The Idol. What was the final? Did you petered out? You're not getting into the rest of it?
I want to finish it. I don't know if my wife is really all that into it. I want to finish it. At least I want to watch another episode or 2 and see if it either really falls off or if it actually starts to get kind of interesting. Because like I said, I still think the story, I think there's something there. It's just pretty 100%. Poorly done.
Yeah, and I think you said last week, Jared, there's talks that it might come back, actually.
I don't think they've officially said it's not.
Okay.
I don't know. I agree. I mean, we've rehashed it, but I mean, it is such an interesting idea. It's like the only way they could have screwed it up is by doing what they did.
Right.